welcome once again my students to the virtual classrooms of Sri Rama Bharati Public School. Students, in the previous video we have discussed about the communication channel, and there we get to know that communication channels is divided into two parts: guided medium and unguided medium. So today in this video we will discuss about in detail about the guided transmission medium. Today we will discuss about the three types of wires we used in setting up the wired connection between the two computers: wireless wired medium, twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and optical fiber. So twisted pair cables are comprises of two separate insulated copper wires. You can see there is a twist between two cables which run in parallel, which both run parallel, but there is a twist between two wires, two copper wires especially, which are typically of 1 mm in diameter. One wire is used to transmit the data while other is used for the ground reference. Now, what are the reasons for twisting? We all know this thing. While sending the data, my data is prone to noise, interferences, and crosstalks. So that means my data can lost in between. So when the wires are twisted, some part of the noise signals is in the direction of the data signals, whereas the other parts are in the opposite direction. So that means you can say this thing, the data is traveling all around my wire. Some will go parallel with the data and some will go here and there. Thus, the external wave cancel out due to the different twist. Obviously, the data which flows the parallel with the wire, that will remains there, but external wave can be cancelled due to different twist. The receiver calculates the difference in the voltage of the two wires for retrieving data. Thus, a much better immunity against noise is obtained. There are two types of twisted pair cables: unshielded twisted pair and shielded twisted pair. Remember this thing, my dear students, that twisted pair cables are used for very shorter distances. It is not widely used for a very longer distances of network connection. Unshielded, you can see here in the diagram, it comprises of two wires and insulator. There is no kind of a insulation of these two wires which are twisted. But in the shielded twisted pair, we have a kind of a metal shield which protects my wires from any kind of a cut or so. Then here are some classifications of the twisted pair cable. Category 1 is used in telephone lines. Category 2 is used with more data transmission, 2 Mbps. Category 3 is used in LAN with data rate of 10 Mbps. And then token ring networks with 20 Mbps, then 100 Mbps, and then 200 Mbps. Now here are some characteristics of STP, that means shielded twisted pair. Shielded because it is shielded, so there will be less prone to noise and interference. Okay, so is reduced to noise interference. It is low cost medium and support data rates up to several Mbps. Now let's discuss about unshielded twisted pair. These cable ensures less crosstalk because higher quality of signals over longer distances. These are widely used for high-speed computer communications. The wires are not shielded and can support up to several Mbps, used in applications like analog digital telephony or LANs. Noise and electromagnetic interference is high in case of unshielded twisted pair. Let's discuss about coaxial cable. As you can see in the diagram here, the coaxial cable is also known as a coax. This is the main wire, this is the main data carrier, and which is again have an insulation with some plastic material. Then we have a copper mesh, and this is the outside insulation. So they are designed with a metal shielding designed to provide immunity against noise and greater bandwidth. So if I compare twisted cable and coaxial cable, then coaxial cables are much better version as compared to twisted pair. Coax can transmit signals over larger distance as higher speed as compared to twisted pair cable. Now, structure of coaxial cable, it has a center core of stiff copper conductor for transmitting signals. This is covered by insulating material. We have already discussed with I have already shown you in the diagram. The insulator is encased by closely woven braided metal. Outer conductor act like a shield against noise. So these kind of wire are less prone to noise. So here are some applications of coaxial cable in the cable TV, in MANs, in data rate of 600 Mbps, and a single coaxial network can carry about 10,000 voice signals. Let's talk about the last wire, that is fiber optic. Fiber optic is the very demand when we need a high quality of data transfer or real time data communication is required, then the fiber optic is the best option. This is the fiber optic works on the refraction of the light, because here there is no current but there is a light signals. This is the main core which actually carries the data, which is covered by the cladding, and again one coating and one then strength member and then outer jacket. So let's discuss. The most commonly used fiber optic is single solid dielectric cylinder. The cylinder is known as a core of a fiber which surrounds the core, which is called cladding. So why we need a cladding to that core? Because it reduces the scattering losses, it adds the mechanical strength to the fiber, and it protects the core from absorbing unwanted surface contaminants. Here are some advantages of the optical fiber. Their capacity is much higher than other kind of copper wires. The size of the copper wire does not increase like that in the copper wire cabling system. The space occupied by these cables are less. The weight of the cable is lighter than the copper one. No spark is there. They are more corrosion resistant than copper cable, and they are cheaper than the copper. The raw material is cheaper, but the fiber optic cable lasts longer than the copper cable. But here are some disadvantages also. Installation cost is high, and we need a number of repeaters if we need to connect a longer distances. They are fragile if they are not placed in the plastic sheet. So more protection is needed as compared to copper ones. So here are some application areas of the fiber optics. They are used in telephone system, submarine, CCTV surveillance, fire and hospitals, schools, and many industries in use for heavy duty constructions. So this is all for today's video, in which we have learned about the wired medium. Thank you.